Everything is full. Fullness there, fullness here, fullness around. If you take fullness out of fullness, fullness remains. This is meaning of the Sanskrit prayer. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate.
Welcome everyone to tonight's Atomic Dreaming class. This class is happening once a month on the second Tuesday of the month at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Swamini Valli. I am a Pillai Center teacher and priestess and an AstroVed astrologer, and I'm very happy to be hosting this class for you tonight. This class is a class in which we go over the directions from Dr. Pillai for two different techniques from the Tamil siddha tradition of enlightenment. One technique is more focused on the material plane, and the other technique is more focused on the spiritual dimension. We go over the directions for both of the techniques, and we practice both of the techniques together in class. I like to start the class with a very simple clearing technique. So if you're in a place where it's safe for you to close your eyes, please go ahead right now and close your eyes. Receive a beam of white light into your right eye. The white light comes into your right eye and it goes into all the millions of cells in your right eye, healing, clearing, renewing. The white light comes into your right eye and it goes all the way back into your right optic nerve. Receive the light. Now, receive a beam of white light into your left eye. The white light is healing, clearing, renewing. Receive the white light into your left eye all the way back into your left optic nerve. Now, receive a beam of white light into your right ear. The white light is healing, clearing, renewing. Receive the white light into your right ear, all the way into your right inner eardrum. Now, receive a beam of white light into your left ear. The white light is healing, clearing, renewing. The white light comes into your left ear and it goes all the way into your left inner eardrum. Now, receive a beam of white light into your right nostril. The white light is healing, clearing, renewing. Receive the white light into your right nostril, all the way into your right nasal cavity. Now, receive a beam of white light into your left nostril. The white light is healing, clearing, renewing. Receive the white light into your left nostril, all the way into your left nasal cavity. Now, receive a beam of white light into your mouth. The white light is healing, clearing, renewing. Receive the white light into the tip of your tongue, the middle of your tongue, the back of your tongue, and your tonsils area. Now, receive a beam of white light into your heart. The white light is healing, clearing, renewing. Receive the white light. Now, receive a beam of white light coming down from the sky, entering into the top of your head. The white light comes into your head and it goes into all the cells in your brain, healing, clearing, renewing. The white light expands and fills your entire head. The white light flows into your neck and throat. The white light comes down into your shoulders. The white light flows into your arms and comes all the way down your arms and into your hands. The white light flows into your torso and it goes into all of your inner organs, healing, clearing, renewing. The white light comes down and flows into your legs. It flows into your thighs, into your knees, goes into your shin and calves, flows down into your ankles, comes all the way down to your feet and out the bottoms of the soles of your feet, connecting you with the earth. The white light is flowing through all the pores in your skin. And now all of us are in a river of white light, ready to begin our program. So as I mentioned at the beginning, these are two techniques of atomic dreaming. It's called atomic dreaming because Dr. Pillai says everyone has an atomic power in their own mind. We're not necessarily taught how to use that in school, but these are two techniques to help us connect with this atomic power in our own mind. So these techniques are a kind of active daydreaming, if you will. They're not dreaming that we're doing during sleep, but they are kind of an active daydreaming technique, connecting us with a deeper power in our own mind. So as I mentioned at the beginning, the first technique is more related to the material world. And in this technique, Dr. Pillai is going to suggest that we can focus on something that is a goodie to us. And to me, a goodie is a very playful word in the English language. It suggests something that we could be excited about, happy about. And your goodie tonight for you, it could be anything that you might like to do, or you might like to have, or you might like to be, or some combination of those things. So as I'm sharing the directions to you from Dr. Pillai about this first technique, in the back of your mind, you can also be thinking, what is the goodie that you would like to play with tonight when we actually do the technique together? So right now, I'm going to share the words to you from Dr. Pillai about this first technique of atomic dreaming. These are his words now. Tapping into your total consciousness. We use only the mind-body consciousness, where the body and mind together give you a sense of reality. You never consciously attempt to separate the body from the mind. There are meditations that the siddhas do to separate their body and the mind. I'll give you an example. You are in San Diego in your house. You think about that you are in, say, India, staying in a hotel, and for a few days you are in the hotel. What is really happening when you do this exercise? Yes, in San Diego, your body and mind are together, and that is where, for all practical purposes, you are. But you are thinking that you are in India, in a hotel room. So the mind alone is there in the hotel. You visualize your hotel room, the restaurant that you go to. You are going to a Chinese restaurant, eating Chinese food. And then you familiarize yourself with the area. You are coming to the lobby and talking to some Indians, doing business with them or whatever. But actually, what you are doing is just imaginary, an unreal exercise, an exercise in unreality by worldly standards. If you live this life on a daily basis, that will help you to separate your mind from the body. Then you can go to the soul. But this first exercise is important, and it will be so liberating for the mind. You can think about all kinds of goodies. You have a Rolls Royce, driving a Rolls Royce. You have a mansion. All these things you can do. And if you remain in that consciousness for a long time, although it is faking, that will do a lot of good, because your unconscious will pick up those constant hammerings. And psychologically, it is such an ego-satisfying consciousness, which is good. So these are the words to us from Dr. Pillai about the first technique of atomic dreaming. So right now, allow yourself to begin to picture yourself having an adventure with your goodie, the goodie that you would like to play with tonight as we do this technique together. Allow yourself to see a very vivid scene of you enjoying your goodie. Allow yourself to see all the colors of the scene, and allow yourself to feel your happiness and joy with your goodie. You're seeing yourself with your goodie. You're seeing this very vividly, all the colors of the scene. And you're feeling your happiness, your delight with your goodie. And you're allowing yourself right now to have an adventure, a happy adventure with your goodie. And you allow yourself to see where this adventure takes you right now. You're seeing it vividly, and you're also hearing everything that's going on in the scene with your goodie very clearly. Whatever there is to hear, you're hearing it. Whether it's nature sounds like the wind in the trees, or maybe there's music or conversation with a friend, but you're seeing all the colors vividly, and you're hearing all the sounds very clearly. And you're allowing your adventure with your goodie to continue. And you allow your happiness with your goodie to continue to expand. You're feeling bliss. You're feeling joy. You're feeling delighted with your goodie. And you know that you have Dr. Pillai's permission to be having this adventure right now with your goodie. He says this is a positive thing for you to have this positive, ego-satisfying experience. Allow yourself to feel satisfied with your goodie. Allow yourself to feel fulfilled with your goodie. And continue to see where your adventure with your goodie is taking you right now. You're seeing it vividly, hearing it clearly. And if there is anything in the scene with your goodie for you to eat or to drink, you're allowing yourself to have that taste sensation. Maybe you're having a picnic, or maybe you're at a party and there's a beautiful buffet, or maybe you're even cooking for friends. But whatever is there in your scene for you to eat or to drink, you're allowing yourself to have that very wonderful taste experience too. And again, your happiness, your joy continues to expand. It continues to grow. You're having this very happy adventure right now with your goodie. All of your senses are coming into this adventure right now with your goodie. You're allowing yourself to see it, to hear it, to taste anything that is there. You're even allowing your sense of smell to be involved. If there is a lovely perfume or a scent, perhaps an incense, or perhaps it's some happy flowers that you can smell. Maybe there's roses. Allow yourself to delight in taking a sniff and enjoying whatever is there for your nose to enjoy, your sense of smell. All of you is fully engaged with your goodie. It's a very vivid experience. And your joy, your delight continues to expand. You continue to feel more sense of satisfaction, more sense of fulfillment, completion. You're very delighted with your goodie. And if there is anything in your adventure with your goodie that may be of a tactile nature, you allow your sense of touch to be engaged. Maybe you're driving a new car and you can feel that steering wheel. Or maybe you're giving a good friend a hug. Or maybe you're walking barefoot on the sand at the beach. But whatever is there for you to feel and touch, you're allowing yourself to enjoy that as well. So all of your senses are enjoying your goodie, and your joy, your bliss, your delight with your goodie continues to expand. You allow the adventure you are having with your goodie to continue to unfold. And now, gently, gently, you come back to your body. You come back and reintegrate into your body. You give thanks to Dr. Pillai for whatever experience you just had with your goodie. You give thanks, you notice how it felt for you to enjoy your goodie. And those of you that have been to this class before, you know that I like this class to be a bit interactive. So if you would like to chat a little bit, to type in the chat a little bit about your experience with your goodie, you're welcome to do that. If you don't want to share all the details of your goodie, perhaps you just type how it made you feel to be enjoying your goodie. I see Ayana sharing in the chat. Thank you, Swamini Valli, Dr. Pillai, and all here now. I really needed this. Oh, thank you, Ayana, for being here from Mexico. I love it that we are an international class. Thank you for that. C. Breezy is saying in the chat, amazing, Swamini. So again, this is a technique from the Tamil Siddha tradition of enlightenment that Dr. Pillai has given us to share on the Atomic Dreaming class with the larger world. So I'm very happy if some of you are having a positive experience with that first technique. Checking the chat to see if anyone else would like to share about their experience with their goodie. Lisa, I know, is here, and her handle right now is Ryan Evans. She said tonight her goodie was she was in her mansion in the UK on the coast. And in this goodie, she had a money room and she had a fancy dress on. And she was jumping on the bed, smelling the money. And then she was playing with the sheep and the lambs that were outside. And she was laughing. So she was having a very happy experience on a nice estate in the UK by the coast, and having a money room and jumping up and down and smelling the money and then playing outside with the sheep and the lambs. Very happy. That's a very happy goodie, Lisa. Thank you for sharing that. Sam is saying tonight he was imagining accelerated wealth creation as his goodie. He was picturing that all of his debts were disintegrating, that he was being generous with his family, that he was seeing Dr. Pillai for the first time at the upcoming Guru Purnima seminar in July, and he was starting a Hope Center. He was being able to do a philanthropic charity project for Tripura Foundation. Oh, Sam, those are all great details. I like that very much. That's a very happy goodie to be focusing on tonight with the technique. So everyone may have a very different kind of a goodie, and that's all totally fine. Ayana is saying she uses atomic dreaming every night, but it's always better live. I think there is a power when we come together as a class, and I know that Dr. Pillai is empowering the techniques for all of you, and he's empowering the class for us. So I do think there is a certain benefit to practicing together in a group. Lovely feedback, Ayana. Thank you. Lisa is saying, awesome, Sam. Wonderful. Van is saying tonight, rings of color came around her, and each color said hello. And then she became like a tennis ball and was part of a game, but enjoying a very active part. It's a little bit strange, but kind of a very happy kind of a goodie, I think, to be interacting with color like that and to be feeling that you're part of a happy game. Lovely, Van. Thank you for sharing it. Ayana is saying, can you briefly tell us more about this year's Guru Purnima? I believe this year for Guru Purnima, which again is going to be in July, Dr. Pillai will be doing a live seminar in the Washington, D.C. area, and I believe it will also be available over Zoom. I think that Lakshmi, Gina, is still working out some of the details. I think it's going to be in a hotel. If people are flying into the hotel, they'll have a discounted rate for you. I think that's where the seminar will be. And there should be email coming out soon with more of the details, the tuition, but I believe it's going to be near the Dulles Airport in the Washington, D.C. area. That's as much as I know right now. And again, could be subject to change until we get the official email from Gina. Kalyani is saying tonight for her goodie with Atomic Dreaming, it's a bungalow. And she's looking at the space inside and then outside, walking on the ground barefoot, feeling the sun. Her family and her friends are there. And she was saying, oh, what a lovely dream. And oh, it was so true to her. Wonderful, a very happy bungalow. Wonderful. Kirandeep is saying, should this technique be done daily? And if so, how many times? This is a very simple technique, Kirandeep. It can be done daily, and it can be done, this is a technique, again, you don't have to be sitting on your meditation mat. You don't have to be sitting in front of an altar. You could be doing the dishes and be doing this technique in your mind, or taking a walk and doing this technique in your mind, or making your bed and doing this technique. It's very short, but it's allowing you to go into a very vivid picturing, a very vivid imagining, using this ability to connect with your own atomic dream. So up to you. I know some people who do it every day, and they've had some very lovely experiences with that. Nina is sharing, hi everyone. She was in a dance studio today she was in a dance studio in her goodie in a different state. And she was teaching the dancers this very fun choreography. It was a dance about counting on one another, and we were all delighted. And then she traveled back home in her goodie. Oh, that sounds very fun. Nina has been a ballerina and a choreographer. That's a very happy goodie for her to picture. Okay, now we're going to move on to the second technique of atomic dreaming. And as I mentioned at the beginning, this one is more spiritual in focus. With this one, I'm again going to read the directions from Dr. Pillai. They're very short. I'm going to talk about it very briefly, and then we're going to do it together in silence. The reason for the silence is because this is more spiritual. I don't want to be constraining you in any way with my words. I will tell you when the 5 minutes of silence is starting, and I will gently bring you out of it when it's over. And the group experience of being together in silence with a group of people doing this technique is also something that helps us to go a bit deeper. So now I'm going to share with you the words from Dr. Pillai about this second technique of atomic dreaming. These are his words now. If you want it to be more powerful, then you have to go imagine that you are in heaven with Lord Shiva, or Vishnu, or Muruga, or Ganesha, or Jesus, or the Buddha. Keep on thinking it over and over and over and over again. Then you can imagine that you have your mind is your subtle body. And this subtle body is thinking these thoughts, which are real to the subtle body. I know a particular case where that exercise yielded results within a few days. Since this is a very powerful technique, you should not do it more than 5 minutes. God bless. So these are the words to us from Dr. Pillai about the second technique of atomic dreaming. Now, you're not limited to the archetypes that he mentioned. If you want to picture going to heaven and visiting with someone else, like Mother Mary or the goddess Lakshmi or Kuan Yin from the Chinese Taoist tradition, you're welcome to do that. Each of you may have your own way of picturing going to heaven. For me, it's very fast. It's kind of like warp speed in Star Trek, but each of you may have your own way. And if you're a secular person, perhaps you could just picture going to a dimension where there are beings that are more intelligent than you are, maybe visiting with Einstein or Tesla someone like that. But right now, we're all going to do this second technique together in silence for 5 minutes, starting now. Gently, gently come back to earth, come back to your body. Allow yourself to give thanks to whatever beings or archetypes you interacted with. Allow yourself to give thanks to Dr. Pillai for whatever experience you had. Gently come back to your body, reintegrate with your body. And again, those of you that have been here before, you know that I like the class to be a bit interactive. And if you're willing to share some of your experience with the second technique in the chat, you're welcome to do that. If you don't want to share all the details, that's fine. Maybe you just share how it made you feel. I see Michael shared from the first technique that he had pictured being at his beach house in Hawaii. That sounds like a very happy goodie. So I'll give you a few more moments to be back in your body and to have your fingers able to type if you'd like to share about this second technique. Kirandeep, the directions were very short. I did read them before we did it, but they're very short from Dr. Pillai. Basically picturing going to heaven and interacting with an archetype. Sam is sharing in the chat, tonight he asked for love tonight through Swarna Bhairava, a special form of Bhairava. And he was told that the first step is to recognize that everyone has value, regardless of income or status. And then he was told to feel the walls in his heart crumble, and for him to feel deserving of love. Beautiful, Sam. Those are very wonderful messages to receive from Swarna Bhairava. Very helpful, very inspiring. Thank you for sharing that. Ayana is sharing, thank you, Dr. Pillai, Swamini Valli, and all here. Tonight, with the second technique, she received wisdom and encouragement from Dr. Pillai. Oh, very beautiful. I'm very happy for that. Lisa, under the handle Ryan Evans, is sharing that she was in Tibet chanting and levitating with monks, and there were so many candles burning. And then her doggie appeared that had crossed over last night. It was so sweet that she came. We had her for 13 years. Oh, definitely your doggie is a wonderful archetype, a visit from heaven, from the dog heaven. That's very sweet. That's very sweet. Bhairava is an archetype that has a dog as a companion. I know that it's challenging to lose a pet, but definitely it's wonderful that you had her for 13 years to enjoy her. Ayana is saying, I'm sorry to hear about your dog. So please accept condolences from all of us for your loss. Lisa is saying, thank you, Dr. Pillai, and everyone here. Wonderful. Lisa is saying, thank you so much. I have really appreciated with this class how supportive everyone is towards each other, how accepting you are of what everyone shares. Kalyani is sharing in the chat, Swamini, I felt like floating towards this vast light. I saw myself like a small dot going towards the light. It felt so good, really happy, and a reminder for me to be in touch. Thank you, Babaji. Oh, that's really nice, Kalyani. I like that. Sam is saying, it is so good to hear your beautiful voice, Swamini. Oh, thank you for that, Sam. Thank you. I'm off camera tonight. I have a Vishnu Padi Fire Lab coming up in just a little bit, so I'm going to be needing to wrap up the class and get the computer over to the Fire Lab in just a few more moments, but I'm very happy to be doing this class. It's a nice oasis in the week. Sam is saying, yes, I will join you for that. Oh, that's great, Sam. Kalyani is saying, thank you, Swamini, and all here. Beautiful. Van is sharing for tonight, for the second technique, the back of her head became like a windows all around, and she could see from a safe place all movements in a kind of ocean of elements, of atoms, of all kinds of little beings. Oh, very cosmic, very atomic. Van, well done, well done. I'm glad you had a very interesting and inspiring experience. Beautiful, beautiful. So again, you have permission to practice these techniques on your own. The replay, of course, is available on the Pillai Center practice channel. We meet on the second Tuesday of each month on the YouTube channel here at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. You have permission to share these techniques with others if that's appropriate for you to do, as long as you're not charging for that. These techniques were freely given to you, so you're allowed to freely pass them on to suitable people if you like. So thank you all for being a very loving and supporting class. Nini, I'm not sure how to say this, Niminimu says, I want to live with my guru and do seva and have financial freedom. So Dr. Pillai probably has a limit for how many people he can be living with physically at one time, but on an energetic level, he can be there with all of us. And if your intention is to be serving God, to be serving the light, opportunities will open for you. And financial freedom is something that Dr. Pillai is holding as an intention for the world. And today is Vishnu Padi. The sun has gone into Taurus, and the wealth creation energies of Vishnu are more available to us today. Nina is saying, I was so excited to go to heaven again, and I became very big. I circled the earth and wanted to hug her with joy. Then I noticed the sun behind me, and I asked him to tell me what to do to help the earth. And he said, stay positive. And then he gave me a flower made of sunlight, and I sat down to meditate. And then I saw the moon and asked him how to help Mother Earth. And he told me that creativity is the key. And he gave me a moonflower. Wow! I sat again. Next, Mother Earth awoke to talk to me. I asked her, what do you need? And she said, just your love. What a really inspiring set of messages to receive, Nina. And thank you so much for sharing them with us. Beautiful. So someone is saying, Dr. Pillai, what is going on in America? That may be a question for you to ask him inwardly using the second technique. I haven't heard from him recently about what he says about America at the moment, but I do know he's been living in the Washington, D.C. area, so I'm sure he's putting energy out, light out into the entire world from there right now. Ryan is saying, very beautiful to Nina. And Van is saying, got chills of your message, Nina. Lovely. Beautiful. Well, I do need to hop to move the computer over to the fire area for the next program that's coming up. Thank you all so much for being here. Namaste. The light in me truly honors the light in all of you. May light encompass all. See you again next month.